Well, look at that. Should we be a little more professional, Rory?
More professional.
Yeah, let's do this. I know what you're thinking, Rory. You're thinking, how could we be more professional than we already are?
Well, indeed.
Copper...
I think by probably joining Copperbeardy in his wishing you a happy birthday, albeit slightly belated.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, kids. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I got a whole bunch of email notifications that people were posting on my timeline on Facebook, and I'm like, but I'm not on Facebook anymore. I kind of went on strike when I felt like they were participating heavily in the profiting of ads, kind of pushing alt-right points of views, and then they recently started doing it again. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going back. So somehow I got to maybe step in for a moment and say thanks to everybody for the happy birthday wishes, and then jump out again. I think is probably what I'm doing. That's my guess. I don't know. I also kind of feel like, oh, am I just an old man, right? You know?
Surely you're about 30, right?
No, but you know what I'm thinking? Like, you know, when I was growing up, like, old folks would be like, oh, that newfangled technology, that's an answering machine. I don't know how to use that. And I'd be like, come on, old man, it's just get, you know. And so now I'm feeling like the kids are all like, come on, old man.
As the days pass by, I'm finding myself closer and closer to that.
Yeah,
it's
get a TikTok account, for God's sakes. And I'm like, oh, well. But thank you so much for the kind wishes, Copperbeardy. You know, we send those same wishes out to you guys as well. I hope everybody's having a good time and had a good weekend. My weekend was great. Hung out with the family and kids, and we played D&D on Sunday. We did another essentially practice game. The consensus is we're maybe 3 practice games away from going live. But from a technology standpoint, I think we've got enough to make it work. We've done it here on the show. There's still some bugs, some stuff that we've got to fix, but nothing that's going to, I think, stop us from premiering. With that said, let's jump in and we'll take a look at what we want to do today. So today, what'd you say?
What do we want to do? I was going to say, good question.
Well, you know, I still got that.
Good ship, CodeRushed.
I feel like I should confess. You know, this is like my confession show, I suppose. But okay. I still have that bug that I haven't quite wrapped my head fully around yet. That is with the spells. She's in the house. She's in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, Sex Positive. He likes to make a big deal. Yes, I think I know what she's going to say. It's either the truth or a complete lie. We'll see what happens here next. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that's all it is. Yeah, of his birthday. Now that's interesting. That's actually kind of the opposite of true. What actually happens is everybody's like, what are you doing for your birthday? And I'm like, I have autism. It's a magic number. And oh, geez, I just dried off. Like, come on, Copperbeardy.
Copperbeardy is in the house.
With some flowers contributed by Genescu7 as well. And I'm like, I got autism. It's a magic number. I'm not even in the same place where I was when I was born. There's nothing significant about this day. And everybody else is like, mwah, you're mean and bad.
I mean, if nothing else, it's an excuse for cake, right?
Sure. I actually had, we made, so I'm on a ketogenic diet, so I can't really do cake, but we got like some cake substitutes. I got one for
bacon cake, right?
Yeah, sure. My daughter likes to, you know, sometimes make stuff. Actually, hold on a second. She made something for me. Can I reach it from here? I think I can. Holy cow, look at this. She made this for me, really kind of sweet, right? She just kind of picks things, grabs things, and she made this. She said, it's a light bulb because you're smart. and I said, I love it. And you can see there it's got like shells in it. It's made out of like a little kind of lamp bulb holder, it looks like, and some twine wrapped around it. And really sweet. I attached it to the back of my monitor there. I'll put that back when the show's over. But really sweet. Genescu 7, glad to have you out here. Your presence reminds me that I want to work on a fanfare for you. Something, something sci-fi-ish, like maybe Star Wars themes without getting sued by Star Wars folks, or without getting shut down or muted by, by Twitch copyright detection. So I managed to get around that pretty well with Frackberg, though, I think. I feel like my legal exposure on that was low. So we played Dungeons and Dragons on Sunday, and I got my notes out here somewhere, but I wanted to, and I had to confess, I've still got that problem with some of the spells not going away, and you'll probably see it here on the show.
Michael Jolly is in the house.
Nothing can go wrong now because, jeez, Michael just like came right at me. But I was going to say nothing can go wrong now that Michael's in the house. Michael Jolly. Glad you're here with us, Michael. It's so good to have everybody. Sex Positive says, such a Libra. Karen got you nothing. Not true. I had a passionate makeout session with my wife, and it was awesome. Big kisses all over. So I love my wife like crazy. Karen Mangicotti, aka Sex Positive, who's in the house. And why are you referring to yourself as third person? No, Sex Positive. That makes me nervous. And also, such a Libra, I'm worried maybe Sex Positive's not in the house, but one of the kids logged into her account, and that's not good. That's not good. But we got a family show here, so it's all right. That's not dye in the mustache. It's lipstick. No, it's dye. It's dye. Looks like I got a little bit of my, just a little bit of.
Interesting shiny effect.
Yeah. That's my green screen here. I think if I adjust the lights here, I can tweak that a bit. Can I? No. Not really working very well. I can also, uno momento, bring up the Logitech Brio app, which I'm not entirely thrilled with. But
awesome app of delays and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not entirely.
Although I did fix that, or at least accounted for it.
Just gonna adjust the white balance a little bit. Yeah, no, we kind of close on that. Wow, it's really not working well, is it? All right, let's do something else then.
Claim it's on purpose for festive reasons, given the time of year.
I can do that too. I can do that. All right, let's go.
Surly Dev is in the house.
Surly Dev, glad you're here as well. Let's see what we got here in my chroma key settings. It's not too bad now. I'm going to just drop it down a little bit there and close it. There we go. I think that we tweaked it that enough. And Jetson! Jetson in the house. Yeah, I wouldn't be too nervous, Genescu 7. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You're going to want that. Yeah, drone. You spelled it right. And there's Jetson's drone flying around. Excellent. So up in the back is my character from the game. And what I want to do today is I want to implement this UI right here behind my head, right there under the mouse. Where, for example, you've got 6 sorcery points that you regain when you finish a long rest. So essentially, I'm calling these like rechargeable items, and they're. Let me see if I can bring up an instance of Notepad here real quickly, and we'll just create a spec for you on the fly here. So I'm going to call these like a rechargeable, is what I'll call this. It's going to have like a display name on it as a property. It's going to have a max value, which is going to be an int. It's going to have a count or current value, which is also going to be an int. And it's going to have a D&D time span is what I think we were calling that type here. So we'll just say int there, And this is going to be a string. It's going to have also a var name string as well. And the D&D time span, which is going to be of type, or what's going to be called our cycle. If I can spell that correctly. So
Time after which recover some.
yeah, Freda the cat's out there. Hey, Freda, I see your drone flying around. Good to see you. So the idea is when does that recycle itself? So for example, spell slots, most of D&D rechargeable items, in fact, will recycle, their cycle will be one long rest, is what that would be. I think every long rest they come back. But there are other ones as well that come back like every day, every 24 hours, or a short rest, for example. So
how does long and short rests play into our time system then?
short rest is 2 hours and a long rest is 8 hours.
Okay, fair enough.
However, there are some characters that can gain the benefits of a long rest in 4 hours of meditation. So there we go. Wait. I don't understand this. Surly Devs is sad. CodeRushed is upsetting VS today? What's happening with that? Are you saying there's a problem? Wait. I don't get that.
Is that a CodeRushed problem, or is that we're interrupting your development time?
I'm not sure what's happening.
A
Tell us what's going on.
variation of the-
Major performance issues. So you're saying you're having performance issues inside of Visual Studio and you think CodeRushed is causing it. Is that right? Slowing down code you're working on. Well, here's my advice for that. Couple things. One is make sure you have the latest version. You won't have the version I have because I just upgraded to a version that I think is not coming out till tomorrow. So you want to get the latest. Make sure you have the latest version out there because we've solved some perf issues. Two, you definitely want to create an issue. If you go into the CodeRushed menu and go into support, report an issue. You want to go in there and report an issue. You definitely want to go do that. Here, we'll pop this down over there. And yeah, basically it kind of looks like this. So you basically say, here's what my problem is, my perf issues, that sort of thing. Yeah, that doesn't look good. If it's debugging, try this. Now we've also solved problems with the debug visualizer, but sometimes the debug visualizer may cause performance issues. So try disabling this, see if that has any change. I was actually talking to the devs about perf issues with the debug visualizer, and we use an older API to get the values. And at the time we started using it, it wasn't old, but you know, times have changed. And Visual Studio has a newer API for getting the values, and we believe it's more performant. What's that? Couldn't see it, so we'll show it to you one more time. It's this right up here. It's this on the toolbar, disables the debug visualizer. Or you can go into the options and turn it on or off. But it might be might be the problem. If stepping over a line of code takes a long time. But what you're describing sounds like a problem from a long time ago. So it seems like an older version to me. But if you've got the latest version, you know, definitely report that. Let us know what's going on with that. When you do that, when you report it, you can. We'll probably send you tools to help us understand and/or instructions to help us profile and understand what's going on. Version 19.1.9. And I think I'm at 19. Yeah, so you're not too far away from here. Definitely report that. And if you can share anything to help us reproduce, that would be awesome. That's like what I have today on that Surly Dev. If you want, we might do a screen share between you and me and our devs so we can see what's going on too if other things fail. But the first thing I would do is send a report out, say what the problem is. Try also disabling the debug visualizer. Also try disabling CodeRushed. You can do that through the extensions. Whoops. Extensions, manage extensions, and then come in here and choose disable. And then I think you have to restart if you do that. And then once you've restarted, things should be happier for you. If it was in fact CodeRushed, and if it was not, then things will be happier for me because it's not CodeRushed. You still have the problem. That's why you're sad. Yeah, I tried that already. And so when you disabled CodeRushed, it was faster. Is that right?
Okay, well, we definitely want to hear about any specifics in that because we want your performance to be as good as it possibly can.
We
Your
do.
experience is
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, nod solemnly. Yeah, well, the good news is that we are, if we can reproduce, we'll throw as many devs at it as possible to fix the problem. So we'll throw the whole team at it if we have to, because making this thing fast in all cases is important. So it may be that you found something. That's why it's also important to reach out to us and get us whatever you can to help us duplicate it. If you can get us the project, that's awesome. If you know something else, if we can, we can send you some diagnostics or get us some profile data on that. That would also be awesome. But yeah, we will work hard on that. I almost feel like I should. You know what, Rory? Just do this. Note the time. We're about 15 minutes in, 16 minutes in, and just send an email to me about that we were talking about performance and on Surly Dev's machine, and just because I just kind of want the dev team to kind of see this bit. I think we might, or I might want to. We might want to talk about them so they can see us talking about it and the things we talked about. Okay.
Done.
Okay. Thank you, buddy. All right, so I want to create that UI, this one right here.
Yep.
That's what I want to do.
So this is used for rechargeable things. So maybe a weapon that has so many usages or stuff
or
like
a
that.
wand.
So you've got one there which is sorcery points. So that's for the character themselves. How do they use those points?
Well, it actually shows up in an action that I can do. So for example, so right now, if we look at our data page for this, and by the way, I started getting all these sheets across the bottom, and I actually broke this into two sheets. One called tables that have the standard D&D tables in them, and then one with my stuff in them, which is this sheet right here. In here, we've got features. And we actually don't have that feature that we were just looking at in yet. I guess we could call it sorcery points. Let's look under features. Do we see sorcery points in here? Font of Magic is what it's called. So it's Font of Magic. So let's do that. Let's just define this right now, and we'll kind of work through this right here. So the name of this is Font of Magic. I'm doing all of these as a single name like this. Over here, we can say the shortcut name is actually Font of Magic like that. I don't think it requires activation. It does not have activation time. It's conditioned true. It's always active. I would say that's true as well to some degree. And let's see. Wait. Disable debug visualizer. And the perf issue's gone. Ouch! If only Copperbeardy were here with the hose to cool me off there a little bit. Will Bennett's intro. He watched CodeRushed, got inspired, and decided to the local dragon hangout to throw dice with them. Decided to go to the local dragon hangout and throw dice with him. May he rest in peace and learn to tolerate digestive juices. Okay. So I guess he's dead and got eaten by a dragon is what I'm going to take that as. Good. I'm glad you're happy and less Surly now, Surly Dev. So yeah, the debug visualizer then was the issue. What's crazy valuable to us is if we can duplicate that. So if you can get us your app or get us, we'll sign non-disclosures if you want, or get us something we can duplicate or tell us about it, something, get us a little more detail on that so we can find out what it is. Speaking of which, I said we used an older API. The debug visualizer uses an older API, Visual Studio API, to get the value, and in some cases we think there are performance problems with it, the API. There's a newer one, and in this sprint where we just started now, we are going to look at incorporating the newer one. So there's a chance that if you do nothing, that in 30 days when the next release comes out, the current release is coming out, I think, tomorrow. But in 30 days when the next release comes out, it'll all be fine and we'll be much faster. So that's hopefully what will happen with that. So when Font of Magic activates, we might do something along these lines. We might say, well, let's go back and look at the look at what this says. Font of Magic, second level, you get some points, and then what do you get? You get points, I think, for each level you are. Gain more as you reach higher levels, as shown in the sorcery points column of the sorcerer table. Oh, so let's open up that spreadsheet. Uno momento. Let me drag this over here. Let's go see what our sorcery points are in that table. That's right here. And there's the sorcerer table. Here's my sorcery points right here. Okay. It looks like it's actually equal to the level, as long as the level's above 2.
Yeah.
Is what it is. So we can grab it.
Might not be the same for other types of rechargeable.
Right. The cool thing is, though, we go back to the other spreadsheet. Let's drag this back up over here. And we go to our properties page. Our properties allows us to access an element from the table based on our level. And we can create one like that. So I can come in here and I can say, let's copy this one and paste this in here. And we're going to call this our sorcery points. Should we do this? Should we call it that? I just want to make sure I'm not colliding with anything else. I think that's fair to say. And then so we're going to go on the table that's the sorcerer, like that. We're going to ask for a particular column, which is going to be, that's the column name. So we're going to say we want the sorcery points column. And we want to look it up by level. And we want to look it up by the level of of our class that is a sorcerer, like that. And if I've done that right, then sorcery points is going to come back with the number of sorcery points that we have. And then we can go back into features and we can do something like this. We can say set sorcery points, PTS, like that. And my convention in the spreadsheets is if I lead it by an underscore, it's going to be a custom variable on the class, on the player. So I'm going to set the sorcery points equal to sorcery points is what I think I called it. Like that. And so if all of that code is working, then it's going to go access the table, pass in the level of the player, and come back with the number 6, because I'm a level 6 sorcerer. That's what I am.
That's the only 6 I've heard of in the last week that might explain where that value came from.
No, I'm going to say no. You're obsessing and you need to let it go.
Reaching, but yeah, okay.
You're obsessing and reaching and you need to let it go.
I will ask, however, that if you're trying to read sorcery points and you always read it as when you activate, you read sorcery points, which is a static max sorcery points, really.
Yes, I am. Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
Than anything else.
But when I read this one is going to come back and tell me how many actually ones I have left.
If you cast Font of Magic twice in a single day,
well, I'm not.
Activate twice.
I'm not. I am only. This is on activate, so it's only going to be called once in the game, is what I think.
Oh, okay. When
I create the new player, but I don't think I'm actually calling on activate yet for pieces that do not require activation. So I'm pretty sure this line of code won't be called yet, but it's something we have to do to make this work. So we're going to set the sorcery points to that. Now, the other thing I need to do is, probably do it before this actually, is I imagine some code. Let's go bring this up again. So rechargeable, display name. I imagine some code that looked like this. Add rechargeable. Whoops. Like this, passing in the display name, sorcery points, like this, the variable name, which I'm going to use there, but as a string. The max count, which is, in fact, I don't even need this anymore. This bottom line of code now, I've decided. The max count and what else? The cycle. And so we're going to say it is one long rest, like that. So that's what I want to do instead. So if you're following me, if you're following kind of what I'm saying, and I feel like I've been a little bit like, well, I'm not sure, blah, 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 like that a little bit on this. I've kind of gone in a not so organized fashion. But what I want to do is, and I'm just noticing that it's just totally.
Somewhat tricky to read.
There
we
you go.
That's much better.
There we go,
So-
right over there. Let me zoom in on this a bit.
You're suggesting this is a kind of a one-time per session kind of a thing anyway.
Yeah.
And so we're going to set up a rechargeable, and here are your obviously, so there's a piece of display text, there's a place to go and locate the current value, and there is the max value, the initialized fact, which in your case will be 6 points because level
Right.
6, and one long rest is the length of time necessary after which it will regain, or you will be able to set sorcery points with the underscore equal to the max value again, thus
Yeah.
reinvigorating the skill and weapon.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's kind of that's one of the ways, that's one of the pieces that I want to do. That's like kind of a part 2 of what I want to do. Whoops, let's put that right up there. We could start that. But the other thing I want to do is with regards to just spells themselves. So if we go into spells, somewhere near, here we go, my slots, right? I've got 4 first level slots, and there's that UI again, right? And notice I can click over here. Oh, whoops, hold on. It's totally obscured by the chat window. Sorry about that, kids. Let's pop it over here. And we'll look at that again for my spells. Spells. Okay, so there we go. I can click here, and it just drops them. Every time if I click one that's checked, if I click one unchecked, it'll add one. And if I click one that's checked, it'll take it off. So that's the UI I want to build right there. So I want to build that in WPF. And I want to essentially have all of these here. And when I cast a spell, I want automatically, depending on what spell level I'm casting it at, I want one of these to pop in here. And once I've sucked up all my second level spell slots, I want all my second level spells to go away. So all of that's, my spells will just disappear as I continue to work, right? That's what I want to do. So I want all of those things to happen. So that's what I want to do. And I think that's...
So is this going to be an extension to your character sheet?
Yeah, it will.
So not only can you see your various strengths and attributes, you'll see your remaining spells.
Yes.
Which is quite useful if you're looking to make a decision about what to do.
Right. Now, we won't be able to do this today because there's some artwork involved, and I don't want you guys to watch, with regards to artwork. But there's going to be another page that's going to look like this one that's going to say spells up at the top. And, and it'll have a list of spells, and the spell slots will be here. So we'll see that'll be updated as well as spells are cast. So when I go to cast a spell, the scroll will roll up, the spell page will open up, and then you'll see those slot pieces opened up. That's what's going to happen there. And similarly, I think, well, I don't know, maybe we'll just have the UI here, and we won't need to put it over here. That's maybe what we'll do. So we'll just add another page there. So to get started on that, let's show you where we are. I'll shut down the D&D app, and we'll go back to the code. And I'll show you what I did this morning, and I was actually super pleased with that. Codebase Alpha. Glad to have you with us, buddy. Let's see, where am I? We're in the middle of showing you some stuff with some WPF stuff. And so
you're looking to make a new piece of WPF UI.
Yeah. So in the WPF UI, or I'm sorry, the D&D UI folder, I created a new user control called Rechargeable Boxes. And let's drag it into user controls so it's in there with the rest of those. There it is right there. And if we open it up and we look at
Hey,
it,
Mark.
well, then it says, please be kind, rewind, I didn't raise you in a barn. When you're finished with your personal meteor catching drone of destruction, please use drone-1 to clean up after yourself. Am I still out here? Yeah. There we go. Love, Mom. P.S. That lovely girl Karen stopped by while you slept. I don't know what she sees in you. I get that a lot. Yeah. Okay, so here we are right here. So let me zoom in on this so you can take a look at the detail in this. Oh, really? Are we flickering? Okay, there we go. So, and you can kind of see it. Let me zoom in even more. There we go. So you can start to see the edges in around the border and stuff like that. In fact, if I were to take a screenshot of this, let's do that. Take a screenshot. And let's zoom out and let's open up an image editor. And let's see if I can do this. Paste it in. Where are we? No, that's not what I wanted. Fine. Hold on. Let's go back. Okay, I'll take it from here. And let's fill, and you'll be able to see this. It's because the background is black, but if we change the background to white, you'll see what's really going on here, like that. And so that's what I have. I've essentially created a checkbox with a custom template on it that if it's checked, does the red box inside of it, like that. And so this is what I did. And it's also got the other boxes. I just use rectangles. So I've got these rectangles here, and I just use CodeRush's duplicate line, change the color of the stroke for each one of those, so I could get this kind of shading that's coming in here as it comes in. And as a result, that exactly matches the UI out here, which is doing the same kind of thing. So we take a screenshot of this, and we come out and we paste it in over here, the same kind of thing. It is. We can zoom in there, and there you can see it's pretty much identical. So it's not too far away from that. Yeah, so it's not bad. So I laid that out this morning, and I was pretty happy with how fast and easy that was to lay out. And then I just added a couple checkboxes in here, and set it's checked to true or not, and that's kind of what I did. Although interesting, this is not updating right now. Why is that the case? That's weird.
Do you need to save? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe save. It's weird. In fact, I'm like feeling non-responsive. Let me hit the CodeRush issue start button right there. See what's going on. What's going on? It's acting. It is totally non-responsive. Oh, now it's responsive. Wow. What was that? All right. I'm gonna call that a perf issue, is what I'm gonna do. And I don't know if that's us or not, but let's see if that is the case. Refreshing. XAML designer.
The great part about this is that you've got an absolute time frame in which this happened, and of course your logs will be included in this, so
yeah,
they can be scanned by the relevant people to determine was it anything, or was the tight loop in which kind of area, I guess.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah, the issue start time we hit was maybe I hit it like a couple seconds after I noticed the perf issue. Yeah, so I just moved that around, and let's see, is it going to happen again? No. Now it's working as expected. So that's kind of what we want it to look like. I want to put like a text box up here too. So I'm just using CodeRushed templates TB here for text block. And I'm going to call this the label, I think. And I don't know, we'll do this label like that. I am wondering, I'm seeing some flickering here too. Hold on. We saw the flickering before, and the solution to the flickering was to just bring everything down and then bring it back up again, a piece at a time. So I'm going to do that again. I feel like I'm close to getting rid of the flickering, like for forever, because I think it's connected to the logic capture that I've got. It could possibly be connected to the upgrade, the Windows upgrade I did as well. So so there we go. What's Surly Dove saying? Just tried isolating some code and can't reproduce, so I'll have to look later and add more to try to narrow it down. But I do get a weird visual effect now that scrolls the window down towards the bottom of the screen each time I press F11. That does not sound like CodeRush, but if you can record the screen, and that would be awesome. The other piece, Surly Dev, is if you go into support and you go into CodeRush logs right here, it's going to open up your log folder, and then you can come in and grab you know, a whole bunch of these and send them to us if you want to, and that may also help us understand what's going on. So something else to consider there. All right. So I guess I'm wondering, should I kind of hard code the background color? But maybe, can I do this? Can I create a designer background color? Is there like some kind of, I don't know if there is or not. No, it doesn't look like that. There is. Yeah, I can do this, but I'm not entirely happy about that, but at least it allows me to work with the stuff and see the pieces there. So I want to have some sort of label here for what it is. So we can call this like sorcery points, for example, or spell slots, or first. Maybe it'd be better to say first like that because it takes up less space. Like that. And now we want to say vertical alignment is equal to center. And is that good? Is that good? Width is equal to auto. Is that what I want there? Is my problem here? Wonder if I can change this to auto. Does that do anything or not? Nope, doesn't like auto. What if I took it out? Does it become auto? It does. Okay, that's more what I think I want right there. Okay, all right. So now we've got this kind of a thing. And is that all I want is the question. If we go back over here, one of the things we notice is there's a per long rest at the end of these for this one. There's a secondary piece. Over here, there's the word slots. So we can do the label at the beginning and the label at the end. I think I do want to have something like that. And so I want to say label start, maybe call this one label start. And then over here, call this label end. Like that. And like say long rest. And what do I want to do here? I guess these are, sorry, I'm just realizing again, the chat window's blocking that. Hold on. These are normal. The other one, were they in the spells? This looks bolded to me.
Yeah, it is.
I think I'm okay with it. It's interesting that they're just putting it at the end. I think I did see it though under features, it on the left, didn't it? Uses. So they've got something on the left as well. So I think to support all of these, I'm going to have a label at the beginning and the end, and I'm not going to bold them. Is kind of what I'm doing, like this. And I think that's it. I think that's all I need to do. Is my spacing okay? I think I maybe need a little bit more on the left edge over here. And I feel like I need a little bit more here. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. What's going on with my auto width? What's going on? Is it just that design height actually doesn't incorporate it and it just lucked out that one time? No. Oh, wait, I do see it. We are okay. It's just that it's cutting right at the edge, just super tight there.
No margin effectively around it,
Yeah, okay, so let's create a margin left of about maybe 3. That looks good. Top 0, right of about 3, and bottom 0. How does that work for us? Whoops. I added, There we go. I want to make a 4 over here on this side. I wonder if that's an MS issue, Surly Dev. I have a problem sometimes with VS Code. Wait, not VS Code. We're talking about, well, maybe there's a related thing where it adds a new empty line at the top of the file. Oh, every time I save? Hold on.
This was to do with
he says when he presses F11. Yeah. I didn't notice blank lines being added, Will Bennett, but we'll look when I reopen the project later on. You could make an element style that is applied to all elements of this type, so give the style a name and use the name to bind the style to the element. Oh, I think I see what you're Copperbeard is saying.
The labels in the context.
Yeah,
of
the
control
labels
will have this kind of margin.
Yeah, well, I think he may be talking about the font settings on them is what I think he might be talking about. Let's come in here and we'll do the same thing, but we're going to say this is 4. And on the right side, what do we need here? I think I'm okay with a 0 here. Oh, but I've got a space there.
Got a space in the text, yeah.
I think I'm okay with that. I'll add that space because then if I have nothing, what's it look like if I have nothing here on this side? Yeah, let me just get the caret out of here somewhere else. Yeah, I think that's okay. Let me undo it. I think I also need, I need a margin on the bottom of this, not here. No, wait. Yeah. No, I need it in my checkbox. I need the checkbox margin on the bottom. Is it here? It moved them all up. But are they now centered? They look like they might actually be centered. What if I change my height to 23? Nope. Um, 22. Yep. That looks centered to me. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Okay, cool. All right, so that's what we've got right there. We've got the labels off to the side there. And I'm also kind of feeling, well, if I want to change those, I can change those later individually. So this piece right here, though, I think I want to put these inside of a stack panel. So let's create a new stack panel here. We're going to call this XP. Let's change this one to rechargeable. Do I really want to call it that? Yeah, fine. I'll do that. And then down here, we're going to call this SP boxes. And then down here is where we can put in our checkboxes. So checkbox 1. Wait, let's do this. Let's come in here, do that, and then use duplicate line to get a couple of these down here. Whoops. You know what I wanted to do? Hold on. Duplicate line. Change this to 2, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. There we go. And then now I should be able to come in. By the way, this is a new feature right here. That is, if we right-click this, actually I'm not seeing anything here for this one, but it shows you what has been automatically replaced. If you see that line after duplicating a line or a selection, you can also hit Control-Z to undo the automatic numbering piece. And so now it changes it back to the 4 right there. So if you want to do that or undo any of the automatic substitutions. And then likewise, we can come down here and say is checked and set that to true, something along those lines. And there you see the pieces working. Okay, so now I'm going to get rid of boxes. And there's my control here. It says first, maybe I should get rid of this now that we've set that. And what do you think, Rory? From a usability standpoint, I drop this down. Label.
If you get rid of it, then you could argue you have to get rid of the other text as well, at which point you've got nothing, and when you drop it down, it's invisible.
Yeah, I think that's maybe where I'm laying. I'm like, well, yeah, maybe not. Let's do this. We'll do this for now. And then we're going to come in. we'll do this for now, and we're not going to stress too much about it. Let's go over into the code now, and let's start creating some dependency properties in here. So I want to create a dependency property on this. So I'm going to type in DP, and then I'm going to do a comma because I want the shorter version of the dependency property. There's a long template that gives us a lot of stuff and a shorter version as well. And I'm going to use the shorter version of this. And so this dependency property is going to be called, what are we calling it? Charges? Where's my spec in Notepad? Count. I called it a count. But maybe let's call it charges. I like that better. So we're going to call it charges. So I'm going to call it charges like that. And its type of is going to be an int like that. And, oh, I forgot. I can't use, so this is actually a CodeRushed issue here. It's not super crazy important that I want to have the guys fix this yet. But if I use a template here, it doesn't expand it everywhere else. So that's kind of, even though it's linked up. So I'm going to just, for now, I'm going to type it in. I'm not going to even bug the devs about this right now, but it's something I will fix in the future. And then the default value is going to be 0, I think. And so now I've added a property called charges. Oh, and guess what? I did want the longer version of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Hold
Luckily, the longer version is very quick to
Yeah,
produce.
it is. So here we go. Charges again, type of int, it defaults to 0, and now I have the ability to come in and respond to when it's changed is what I get here. And so when the charges are changed, I can come in here and I can do something on this. And so what I want to do here is when the charges have changed, actually this is charges. And I also want another one that's similar to this called max charges. So we'll create another dependency property here, or max. What do I want to call this? I want to call it max charges. I'm going to call it max charges.
Is good. Yeah, I like that.
Rory, you're so awesome. Look at you, keeping us all on track here. All right, so there's our max charges property. And max charges on charges changed has got... wait, where's my on max charges changed? There it is right there. And so here's where we're going to do some sort of change there. And what I want to do here is when max charges changed comes in, I want to rebuild all those checkboxes inside of there is what I want to do. So that thing I want to put them in is called what? SP boxes. So I want to come in and I want to say SP boxes dot children dot clear. Let's get rid of all of those. And then I want to create all the new boxes. And so it's going to be something like this, like a for loop going up to new value. And then I want to say create a new checkbox. I'm just wondering, do I want a custom control here? Not sure yet. So there's my checkbox. I'm going to say checkbox dot is checked is equal to I is less than my charges. Although I could have a separate function that actually does this automatically. And I'm probably going to build this anyway. So this line of code here maybe doesn't make sense. It makes more sense to call the update charges. In fact, let's just do this. Update charges. Let's call that here. Let's declare that method. I'll throw it down there. We're going to put some code in there at some point. And I also need this on my on charge change. Charges changed. Right down here. Okay. And let's see here. Uno momento. What to bring up. There it is. Okay. So there's my update charges. We haven't written that yet. We need to do that. So here's our checkbox. Then we need to say SP boxes dot children dot add our checkbox. In fact, guess what? I don't need to really set any properties here on this. I can just inline this temp. and clean up that code like that.
That's good. Yep.
Yeah, it's not bad. Hold on, let me undo this a second. I want to just grab that code right there. I didn't really need that, did I? Okay, I just need this. And so we've kind of got this. There's our on-max charges changed. Update charges. That's down here. And I think that code looks like this. .children, cut that to the clipboard, type in FE for F each, UI element, and then if a UI element is checkbox, do I need that? Yeah, I do. Checkbox. Then I want to say this line of code right here. I want to say this.
Don't have an I.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I really want a for each to 4.
Do we not have one of those?
Not in CodeRushed for Roslyn yet. So let me do this feature request for each to 4. There it is. So I'm just sending that message out to the devs. Kids, I have, keep running into this. It's a simple one to do. Let's implement for each to 4. I'm missing it. It should be here. There's no easy way to get from here to a for loop with an iterator in it. So I got to do it by hand. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So for each, the upper bound is going to be children. I could also, the other option is I take the I variable and increment it each time through the loop, but that looks gross to me. It's kind of a mess. And then come down here and we're going to say, got to do something like this. UI element is equal to this children of I. And then we can do this code right here. And then I think, if I'm, I feel like I'm not thinking too hard about this, but I feel like that is maybe the right code right there. Checkbox is checked if it's less than the number of charges that we have. That's kind of what I feel like that code looks like. And
Mark, how certain are you we don't have that refactoring?
what'd you say?
How certain are you that we don't have the for each to 4?
I don't know. I thought I just did it and I didn't see it. Did you see it?
Well, I've got some other code, shall we say?
What? Never mind.
Sorry, a bit late with the.
Never mind. I felt like I didn't see it, and I was like, all right. So ignore. You can respond to that. Yeah, it's an old guy. Hey, that old guy doesn't see what's in front of him. Okay.
In any case, another CodeRushed feature discovered.
Fine. You know what we don't have? I know what I was thinking of that we don't have. It's reverse for loop. We don't have that. So let's just do that. Say Mark meant to say reverse for loop.
Yeah,
That's what he was talking about it. Yeah. All right. So let's see. I think this is it. If I is less than the number of charges, so if we have one charge, I is going to be 0 coming through. It'll be checked, and we'll only have 1. So there, I've thought about it. Okay. So update charge. That code looks correct to me. Then.
Now, hang on. We have one further thing to do there because we might be updating charges in a negative direction. Therefore, we should be setting it to false in an else clause of some kind.
And it does it here. This is going to work.
Oh, sorry. I saw the if in conjunction with is checked.
Yeah, it's not.
You're absolutely right. Sorry. See, my old guy showing through again.
These old guys are writing code. They're trying to at least. Ooh. Yeah, I don't mean to be racist against old guys, but all right. So, but yeah, all right, we're there. Okay, so that takes care of that. I wonder if I can now rebuild this and then actually change the properties in the designer and see if that behavior is updated. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be good. That should totally work.
What do you think the chances of that working are? So here we
Oh.
are.
80% plus.
Oh, it won't work here. It won't work here. But it will work if we drop it on something, is where it'll work. So do I have a character sheet in here. And like, I don't know, what's over in this space? It's this thing, a grid sheet. And I could come in and say, oh, not responding again. Come on, kids. Are they going to blame CodeRushed? Oh, see that? They did not blame CodeRushed, which means it might have been them. Interesting, yeah. They never say Visual Studio is causing a delay that, can be solved by uninstalling Visual Studio, because, that doesn't make sense. All right, so
I
let's...
never know whether to be happy in this circumstance with the sort of forethought that it's Visual Studio rather than CodeRushed, because on the one hand, not our fault, which is good, right?
Yeah,
on the
no,
other
okay.
hand, CodeRushed guys do respond really quickly to fixing this stuff.
Yeah. All right, so I've just added a rechargeable box here. I don't like that height being crazy like that. I almost feel like I should... there we go. All right, cool. Let's see here. Max charges. Let's say that equal to 4. Whoa, look at that. Did you see that?
Hey, score.
Look at that. And then let's say charges is equal to 382. Oh.
Look at all the awesome. Isn't it shiny?
We didn't even write any code practically on this thing. Yeah, 4. Good. What if I make it like 45? Totally fine. It's happy with that. What if I make this like 43? Yeah, I think we're good. I think it's working, is what I'm going to say. I don't have labels. I need to get the labels.
Properties.
Get the
Sure.
labels set up here. Let's see. How can I do that very easily? I don't think I have a way to do this. I want essentially a wrapper around the existing property.
You want to be able to pick a property from any of the constituent parts and to build a property around the getting and setting of that.
Yeah, that's what I want. We kind of have it, but I'm not sure how well it's going to work. It works better for non-dependencies. It would create it as a non-dependency property, but I think I want to create it as a dependency property, is what I think I want to do. Yeah. Well,
So almost if you had a version of dependency property which read the clipboard wherein you had already supplied the code for reading and writing, i.e. the namespace, not namespace, but the my object.myProperty was on the clipboard, and it would insert it into and use that as the backing store.
I'm not sure I'm following you on that, Rory, but let me try one thing. I'm gonna try something crazy, is what I want to do. I want to do a, we're going to call this the front label, first label, and that's going to be type string, and initialize it to empty string, and first label property. My crazy thing, basically, hey, there's this comment here. Don't ever change this. But the crazy idea, would that work? No, because it's got to go in and go grab those pieces. It does. Okay, let's do this instead. Let's undo that. We're going to create the dependency property using the big template. And so we're going to call this first label. Yeah, it's a little weighty. And it's going to be, type is going to be a string. And default value is going to be empty. And now what I want to do is on first label changed right here, I want to come in and I want to say TB label start dot text equals new value. Like that. So we'll do it this way. And we don't need coerce on it. So what we can do is that we can actually clean this code up a little bit by grabbing my coerce stuff out. And I think this is an optional. Is that right? Yeah, it's optional, it looks like. And go back to coerce first label and take this one out as well. So kill that, jump back, kill that. And I also don't need the coerce on the max charges either. Done right there. So let's kill that. Let's just look for coerce everywhere and kill it.
Hey, Pudding's in the chat.
Hey, Pudding. How you doing, buddy? Welcome. We'll clear up those courses. There we go. And are we done? We found all the courses. Okay, so there's my first label property, and let's use duplicate line to come in here, and we'll call this the last label or end label, like that. And end label property. Let's come in here, duplicate this line of code too. Call it end label. And oops, meant to get these two. I think it's going pretty well. Wiggles 3. What's going on with the Wiggles 3? I'm not getting that. I don't understand what's going on. I don't think I need that. There's my end label, and I think, I needed to, on end label change. That's what I need here. That, tab, to next reference, duplicate, whoops. Duplicate selection is what I want to do, so select the whole thing, duplicate it, and we want to say on end label changed is what we want. And then we're going to come down here and call this one, this end label changed right there. And, oops. Nope, I didn't want to hit that. I want to hit escape. And on end label changed. And then I want to come down to the protected virtual, duplicate that as well. And change it to on end label change. And then down here, this is on the label end, right? What is it? Last
Yep.
label, label end. There it is right there. Okay, so now we could rebuild that. Now we should be able to change those two labels. See what I'm saying, Roy? There's no easy way to basically go in. And this is a write-only connection, but also creating a read-write connection, like say with an edit box, something like that. Yeah, gnomes came in earlier. Okay, so with that rebuilt, go out to character sheets again, where we're testing this, and now we should have a end label and a begin label, first label and maybe I should call that begin label instead of end label. So end label is equal to hello. There we go. That's working. And first label, which I want to rename to end label, is going to be slots or something like that. Sweet.
Nice.
Okay, so there's that control. That's not bad. Let me clear it a sec. And let's go back to here, and let's do some renaming here. I think I want to rename label start to. By the way, here's a CodeRushed Visual Studio tip. You cannot rename from here. There's no way to rename from this thing right here. You can hit F2 all you want, and it says no, you can't. But if you tab to next reference to get into the code and hit the rename, now you can do it. So I'm going to call this begin. And I'm going to do the same thing here on begin. Copy that to the clipboard. And let's go up here rename this, and then come up here, rename this. And then we should have a begin label. Let's go rename that. And there's one more, the one in text that's in the static declaration right here.
Yep.
That one. And I think that's all we need to do. And we've just renamed all of those. And then we can rebuild. Okay, so cool. So now we have that UI that we can now put places. So what I want to do is I want to put them, I think, right there on that sheet. What I think I want to do is I want to pretend that for now that this is my spell slot sheet right here. It's not. It's for equipment, but I want to pretend it's going to be for spells. And I want to put them out here. So what I want to do is I want to say, let's create a stack panel here. We're going to call this, I guess we'll call it spell slots for now. Orientation will be vertical. And I think that's all I want to do. I want to add this stuff dynamically is what I want to do based on the character. So now, there's my page equipment. Am I going to, I think what I need to do, let's go see what's going on with the character sheet in the code in the back here. Do we have... Oh no. Oh no, not good. Oh, I'm okay. It's all right. Brackberg. Hey, buddy. Welcome. Glad you're here. It's kind of interesting, you know, I've only thought about it from the perspective of the person who's got the fanfare a couple times, but it's so funny. Like every time they come in, as soon as they say anything, the show starts the same way for them. Every time.
Interesting, yes.
Yeah. Right? Like Surly Dev, I mean, not Surly Dev, Codebase Alpha, do you get all like psyched before you come in? Because you're going to be like, you know, dancing. All right, I want to see if we have a character in here, an actual character reference. Do we? I want to whole word that. What do we got here? Set calculated fields from a character. Where's this called? From set from character. Sweet. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to create something new here that's going to be, yeah, Codebase Alpha says, yeah, and I like to unleash the pumpkins. Cool. All right. Wicked Blue Ninja. Wicked Blue Ninja. How are you doing? You know what I'm thinking, Rory?
A great name, isn't it?
I got to add that to my backlog.
Crying out for.
Wicked Blue Ninja, you may not know what we're talking about, but we have fanfares for folks, and if you've got a really killer handle, or you show up a lot and talk in this show, I create a fanfare for you. So yeah, Ninja's in the house. Excellent. Wicked Blue Ninja, you show up a few more times. Speaking of which, Pyrocat, I was all big on Pyrocats, did not have any time. I think between, you know, spending time with the family and the Dungeons & Dragons game over the weekend, didn't have any time to work on Pyrocats anymore. I'm not far from finishing it. It's basically sound effects are essentially, I think, the last thing I got to do to put it all together. So it's maybe a half hour's work or maybe an hour's work to finish that up. But as soon as I get some free time on that, I will finish up Pyrocats as well. So yeah, and basically what happens, Blue Ninja, is you show up and say hello, and we get this killer thing that plays for you that shows what's that basically is a tribute to you and your character, your handle, that sort of thing. So you have such an awesome name, Wicked Blue Ninja. I'm like, oh, I want to build a fanfare for you. So I'm putting it on my list over here. We'll put it over here on my list, fanfares. I also have Angry Little Hamster that is on my list. Fred of the Cat is out there. I've got a lot of folks out there. I know I should Fred of the Cat and Angry Little Hamster, all these great names out there that I want to build tributes to. But I've been like super crazy busy and not with a lot of free time. So, but hopefully that'll change. I'll get a little bit of time because I love doing it. It's like really fun to learn about creating special effects. So now what I want to do here is I want to say add rechargeables, like that is what I want to say, passing in the character. Okay, and so now we're going to say declare a method on that, and when we've got the character, what we don't like that, is it because, what do you not like about that, Mr.?
It's the EA. I think it's probably rechargeables without an E midway through.
Wait, why don't I see, hold on a second.
It's a spell check thing, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not seeing the spell checker here. Let's right click here. I don't see the spell checker here. What's going on? I think I got to report an issue. We got a bug because of the time. Did we not get this right? What's going on? It's 5 seconds after. Did we really have this? Debugger break, time span from seconds. Or we can change the time string on this as well. I think the bug is something like this, is what I think the bug is, as I recall.
Okay.
Parse exact is failing on that. Let's see if I can come back up here and try again. I think I have to hit F10 maybe. And now come up here. Come on. All right, fine. Let's get out of there. Yeah, sometimes the show is called Mark versus Edit and Continue. Let's come back over here again. Now come up. Oh, come on. No executable code. Oh, wait, it says no executable code. That's my problem. I might have been able to, I just need, let's come up here. There we go. All right, one more time with a 0. And now no exception. Fine, good, run. All right, so the bug I want to report is I'm not seeing, I got a spell checker here. And what is my spell checker button? It's that one right there. Turn it off, turn it back on again. But I'm not seeing any of the spell checker in here. Not seeing that as an option here. Don't see it here either. Okay? This is potentially new issues that we want kids to look at. So that is that issue. Let me mark the end of the issue here in the stream so devs know where to go. We are, there's the end of it, bug spell checker. And let's send that out there. So we are live dog fooding CodeRushed here on the show. So we're writing code and debugging live, or dog fooding live. And so I've got a new version that we are on the verge of releasing. It looks like the spell checker is not quite working. I can take that E away out of there. I don't think it's going to like that either. I think it's the S at the end is what I think. Yeah, see that? So it's the S is the problem. But I don't have an option to add it, so we're just going to, we'll go with that error right now. So we're adding the rechargeables, and now what I want to do is I want to see what the spell slots are for this. But I don't think I've got anything in here for spell slots. Ooh, look at what I got. There's an array of ints indexed by spell slot level of the number of spell slots available for this character. Brilliant, kind of, I think. So let's do this. Let's declare a local. Those are my spell slot levels. Let's go look at that. What's going on with that? Character class and classes. If can cast spells, what's up with that? Get spell casting ability, spell class name. Look at that. This is some serious D&D logic here, kids. All right, cool. So we can cast spells. If we can cast spells, then we get available spell slots, and we fill them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is that enough, though? Are there only 5 5th level spells? Maybe that's correct. What's the highest level spell? Let's double check that. What's the highest level spell in D&D? Spells over 9th level. Something's wrong here with this code. Get available spell slots. What's going on with this code? class, class level, class name, all tables. Then we get the data. Okay. So let's go look at the tables and double check that our tables have the data we're looking for. Table sorcerer. Yes, this is what we're looking for. Oh no. That's the worst sound ever, kids. Rory!
Yeah,
It's got to go.
sadly so.
Did you see what Will Bennett did?
Oh dear.
He sent up the message, no, Rory, don't go.
He attempted it, although I see no music box, so I don't know why that is.
I see the music
Hang on.
box.
No, I see what it is. It's crept beneath the area that I can see through Skype, but it is there on the stream.
Oh, I see. Oh, hey, there's a tip for Skype. If Skype is for the future, right click the Skype preview and say choose see full video feed.
Ooh, that's good.
Okay?
Yeah,
That's a
that
pro
works.
tip right there for you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thanks so
Okay.
much.
I'll catch you same time tomorrow.
All right, buddy. We'll see you. Hey, get your
you then.
friends to follow. We're like 9 guys away, nine folks away from 1,000 followers.
Absolutely. Bring them all in.
It's gonna go crazy when that happens.
See you later, buddy.
All right, buddy. Bye. Nice. All right, what's going on here? Slot 1 spells, slot 4, slot 9 spells. Okay, I got code here that's taking it up to 9 in my test code. That's good. Looks like I just blowing it here. All right, so let's keep going. Boom, 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 boom. 9th level. That looks good. That was CodeRush's duplicate line. Just looking at the code, figuring it all out. Show us what you look like from behind so we can follow you. That's it right there. That was pretty much it. It's like this, but without any of the stuff on the front. By the way, yeah, 1,000 followers. Lego. So, you know, one of the things that gave me great panic the other day, it was a thought experiment, is, you know, I'm thinking about umvelts and what we see. And normally I'm just totally calm and relaxed about this, even though it's, you know, it's true all the time. But the more I started thinking about it, the more I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. We can only see half of what's going on around us at any time. We have no idea what's behind us. And that's what gave me panic, is that I realized no matter where I looked, I was 100% couldn't see behind me. And I was like, ah, ah. So that was my deal on that. All right, so let's see what we got here. Get available spell slots. We're now filling them all the way up, 1 through 9. Filling them up into this array, and we're returning it. Oh, Riyadh H00 is watching Science of Great UI on YouTube. Really interesting. Well, thank you very much. There's a lot of stuff out there. I think I know which one you're doing. You're watching the one from the recent one from the .NET conference. That's gotten a lot of views and a lot of praise, positive comments out there. So yeah, and it's a great talk. I'm going to be in Vegas, by the way, speaking November 16th through the 18th at Dev Intersection. So if you are going to that conference, stop by and say hi, and certainly attend the sessions. I think they're going to be interesting. You can get the full version of the course up at deviq.com, which is right up there. So you can do that if you want as well. Okay, let's see what we got. We were get spell slot levels. I think I can hit escape to get back. Here it is, spell slot levels. So this is now, we're expecting this to go from 1 to, we don't really need to worry about spells at level 0 because those are cantrips, and they're not rechargeable. They're always available. You can do them as many times as you want. Way to butter him up, Riyadh. Bucking for a fanfare. Genescu 7, is the test purple burst? Did it work? Looks like test close worked. I heard something. I'm gonna try it out. Oh yeah, that works. Right up there. Cool. Okay. So we're gonna go through these at the different levels, and then we are going to come in and we're gonna say SP no, not spell slot levels. It was SP rechargeables. Okay. But I don't see it here. Why not? Oh, it is spell slots. Okay. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to create a new rechargeable. Like that, and now I want to say rechargeable dot max charges is equal to spell slot levels of I. And then I want to add it. And I think it's not bad. And I think I also want to come down there and say, hey, tag is equal to I. Like that. Let's just see if that works. Let's refresh this. Rebuild. And then we'll run. Got some folks flying their drones around. We'll just through that. Boom, and he hits the boom box after several rebounds. All right, let's click run and see what happens. Let's initialize player data. Interesting. I get this, but I think I haven't selected a character yet. So let's select a character.
Bushwhacker. Ava.
Okay.
Merkin Bushwhacker. Fred. Ava. Merkin Bushwhacker. Willie.
Willie doesn't have spell slots. I thought he did. Wait, there may be another problem with Willie.
Merkin Bushwhacker.
Okay. I want to make it so I don't see these right here. So I want to come down and do this, and let's do a refresh. Initialize player data. Well, actually, I didn't need to do that. I just needed to change. Let's say. Say big fat continue right there. Okay, so run that. And now,
Lady Bushwhacker.
now we've got these three. So now I want to change the labels here. So let's change those labels. And set a breakpoint there. Switch away.
Ava. Good question.
What do we got? What are you coding? How's it connected to the Twitch chat? I'm coding a overlay for a Dungeons and Dragons stream. I gotta actually make a video, I think, to show this. But my Dungeons and Dragons stream looks a little bit like this, where if it's a player's turn, you'll see
Merkin Bushwhacker.
their specs come up over there for where the turn is. And then we can change and select different elements of the scroll. And the piece I'm working on now are the spell slots. So how many spells do the different wizards and sorcerers have? And I'm just working on this control right here. I haven't quite got it fully finished and functional yet, but I'm working on this. And I'm now about to put in the labels for first, second, third for the different spell slots. These will ultimately be like on a different page on this in this UI, and then on the live stream, there'll be a dedicated page for it. So that's what's going on there. Now, that's not all. In addition to this, I'll show you some of the things we've worked on in the past. We have the ability to for the players to put live graphics over the players. So Ava's got a battle axe, for example, and when she draws the battle axe, it looks like this in front of her video. So she'd be behind it like this. And then when she rolls, we just do notice down here, it says, there's my damage right there. If she does an attack roll on it, the dice come out, and the damage type is slashing. So you can see that the dice has that effect on it because it's slashing. And that was a miss. We do another one. Let's change the weapon to the greatsword, like that. And it does 2d6 plus 3 slashing. We do that attack. Like that. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So we're going to see things like that in the game. So there's all kinds of things. If I come in here and say, let's throw out like 7 d12s, and let's change the damage type to say, for example, acid, and I say roll damage only. This is what that damage looks like. So you get that nice acid effect right there. Or I can come in and say, let's do fire damage instead. Right, so we've got all of these cool effects.
Making contact. That is a hit.
Is it linked? Yeah, it's totally inside OBS. So this is for another stream. I'll give you the link to that stream. It's on twitch.tv/Dragon Humpers. And it is comedy D&D plus these crazy special effects. Say like one says, doesn't remind me of any acid effects I remember, but that was a long time ago, so I could be wrong. So yeah, that is that's the other show out there on Twitch. You can follow it now. We have not gone live yet, but you can learn a little bit about that and what's going on with there. It's a little bit crazy, but like I say, it's comedy Dungeons and Dragons. It's in the style of a podcast I used to do called Mondays a while back, and so it'll be funny. It'll be Dungeons and Dragons. It'll have killer special effects on it. Let me see if I can get the Paladin Smite attack to work on it. That's all right. Not as killer as if I actually first cast. I think if I do it this way, Wrathful Smite. So there you can see the special effect. It's actually going around. So if I see that? It's like going around the player. Like if I move over here, you can see it's actually moving around me. So we've got the special effect going around the player. And now if she does a great sword attack, now you should see. No. Thanks for the follow. Say like a 1. Yeah, I was trying to get that going there, but it did not. Yeah, let's go ahead and break concentration and try again with the great sword. I was trying to get that. Nope, special effects for that aren't working. I got to look at that. So the extra special effects we got to look into. But anyway, that's kind of gives you a sense. So we got dice effects, spell casting effects, weapon effects, even things like when we. These are not linked up yet, but under items. Is that right? Oh, did we lose our items? I think we did. I think we lost. Oh, no, wait. What's going on here? Oh, that's an interesting bug. Have to take a look at that. Wow. Yeah, blood effects.
That's a bug.
Yeah, that's a bug. I'll agree. That's a bug. All right, we got some bugs we got to look at. Hopefully it's nothing too big. All right, so that's what we're doing. So here's what I want to do.
Merkin.
I want to end this show soon here. I want to get these labels right. Let's get the labels, and then we're going to. We're not getting to the breakpoint. I wonder. Do we only do this after? We only do it after we do a refresh. I see. Okay, so let's refresh our data. We'll get to the breakpoint for these, and I want to make these say first, second, third, and I want to clear the long rest piece at the end. Or actually, yeah, no, I'll clear it. So now what I want to do is I want to say rechargeable. I think I want to switch on I, and if I is 1, I want to say rechargeable dot first label or begin label, I think I called it. Begin label equals first. So these are just for the different spell effects. And let's duplicate that line, change that to a 2. Come in here and make this a second. Duplicate the line, and this is going to be third. Duplicate the line, and this is going to be fourth. And then 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Okay? And then no matter what, we're going to say rechargeable.endLabel is equal to nothing, empty string. And now let's run it and see how that works. And come over here. Okay, not bad. I want to put a colon there. That'd be nice if they all lined up, wouldn't it? But wait, why don't I have long rest showing up here? I mean, why do I? What's going on with the end label? On end label change. That should still be working. I don't get that. Let's try one more time. Huh. I'm not getting the end label changed event going out here. That does not make sense to me. I feel like I should totally get it. Let's set the breakpoint here. Try one more time. Oh, I know why. Because it's already set to an empty string. That's the problem. I need to change its default value in order to get any traction here. So to make this work for now, let's do this. I'm going to kill the app. Let's change its, let's go out to our rechargeable. Yeah, we never got the event because it never changed because the property was, so what we need to do is either change this to first here as its default value and this one to end label, or we need to go clear them, and I think I'm going to clear them is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to clear them out here so that's the fix right there. Okay. And let's go back over. I could do this, though. Should I do min width? No. I kind of have an idea. let's do this. Let's create a min width for the label. Min label width. Min begin label width property. So I'm going to do that. Dependency property, min begin label width, like that. And it's going to be type of int. The default value is going to be 0. But then what we're going to do is let's go get this on changed. Let's tab the next reference into there. Yeah. Go chucking 69. I do look a little bit familiar. I'm that guy. If you want to see me in person, show up at Dev Intersection in November. November 16th through the 18th. I'll be at Dev Intersection speaking live on Great UI. So we say begin label dot min. Oh, I don't have a min width. Come on. I'm for sure I have a min width on that. Wow. All right, so in that case, I'm just gonna say width. No width? Wait, on begin level? What is going on? Oh, wait. Hold on, I think I know what the problem is. TV label begin dot min width. Now I got it. There we go. Equals new value. WorldWake is here. Good to have you with us, buddy. All right, so now we're going to set the min width equal to that. So now, let's clean up the coerces. I don't need these. And that one, kill it. What? Oh, wait a second. I know why, because it was whole word. That's where it is. All right. So that is sweet. Now I can come back over into main window. Go into set from character. Go into add rechargeables. Now I can come down here and I can set my min width. Set that equal to, like, say, I don't know, 30. And now they'll all line up. Let's try that. Will Bennett is a bot. All right, kids. Here's what we got. Let's initialize. What program do you use for graphic design? I use, hold on, this one we no longer need to set, actually. We don't need this line of code here anymore. Just run it. I use, well, I'm not necessarily going to say I recommend it, but I typically use Paint Shop Pro from Corel. Now, it used to be better than it is. It used to be better in that it would start up very quickly, and that's why I used it. But it's a little slower. I still use it for a lot of stuff, though, because it's fairly quick for me to get in and out of. Let's click this button to hide the scroll. And let's switch over to Merkin. There we go. First, second, third. Sweet. Not bad. I want to get a colon in there for those. Sure. Let's do that. Let's refresh, get a breakpoint. Space in there. And is there anything else I need? Let's run it. I wanted to look at, there we go. So that's not bad. So now, these still are not working. We got to work on those. I'm going to finish those up tomorrow. But let's look at, let's compare it with D&D Beyond. And see what, if it's correct. I got 4 first level, and then 3 second and 3 thirds. Excellent. Let's see what's going up with Willie. Does he have spells? I thought he did. He does. He's a high elf rogue, and he's got spell slots. How's he getting those? Spellcasting. You can cast wizard spells using int as your spellcast modifier. Ah, arcane trickster. Okay, so I need to go look this up, figure out how many spell slots he's got, so he has those in there as well. All right, cool. Cool. All right, let's send you out to see who I'm following out here, who's out here live right now. Honest Dan Games. He's great. Super interesting stuff over there. I'm going to send you over there, kids. So that's the one I use for graphic design. I use other programs for visual effects. So it depends on what I'm doing. So I'm a big fan of Adobe After Effects and Adobe Premiere. Yep, I'm going to wrap it up right now, man. Go play some poker, buddy. I'm raiding Honest Dan Games right now. Sending you guys over there. Thanks so much. Get your friends to follow. Free copy of CodeRushed. We're going to break 1,000 followers soon. And it's going to be crazy when it happens. All right. Tell Honest Dan I said hi. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Right, okay. Also, just we're going to...